Hi everyone. In today's session we shall discuss about functional groups. A functional group can be defined as an atom or group of atoms within a molecule that is responsible for its characteristic chemical reactions. Now we shall discuss about a few functional groups. The first one being alkane. As we have studied in the previous session that alkanes are saturated compounds that contain single bonds between carbon and carbon. So here you can see that there are only carbon and hydrogen atoms in the chain and all are single bonds, and therefore their name ends with the suffix ane. So the example given is that of ethane. Eth is the root word used because there are only two carbon atoms. The next one is alkene. Alkenes are unsaturated compounds that contain double bond between carbon atoms. So as you can see in the structure, there are only carbon and hydrogen atoms, and the two carbon atoms are linked by a double bond, and hence the suffix or their name ends with the suffix "ene." And here the example is that of ethene. Eth is the root word used because there are only two carbon atoms, and ene is the suffix used. So the example here is that of ethene. The next is alkyne. Alkynes are unsaturated compounds that contain a triple bond between the carbon atoms. So in the structure there are only carbon and hydrogen atoms. As you can see, the two carbon atoms are bonded by a triple bond, and hence the suffix will be yne. In the given example, there are only two carbon atoms, so the root word used is eth, and the suffix yne will be added, and the name of the compound becomes ethyne. The next functional group is alcohol. Here you can clearly see that one of the hydrogens is being replaced with an OH group. So if you find an OH group in the structure, it clearly indicates that it is an alcohol. The suffix that is used for alcohol is OL. Now look at the example given. You can find that there are two carbon atoms. So the root word is eth, and it is a saturated compound because there is a single bond between carbon atom. There are no double or triple bonds. So it clearly indicates that it is an alkane. So the name is ethane, ethane, but one of the hydrogens of the carbon atom is replaced by an OH group. So the suffix should be OL. So instead of E, you have to add the suffix OL. So the name becomes ethanol. Alcohols are of three types: primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, and tertiary alcohol. Primary alcohol, as you can see the example given, the OH group is attached to a carbon atom that has two hydrogens, and then on the left side it is bonded to a methyl group, that is, it is bonded to a CH3 group. So primary alcohols are those in which the OH group is attached to a carbon atom that has two hydrogen atoms. In the case of secondary alcohol, you can find that the OH group is attached to carbon that has only one hydrogen atom. On the left and on the right side, it is attached to CH3 groups. So secondary alcohols are those in which the OH group is attached to a carbon atom having only one hydrogen. In the case of tertiary alcohol, the OH group will be attached to a carbon that has no hydrogens. So as in this example seen here, you can see that the carbon atom at the center is bonded to a CH3 group on the left side, one CH3 group on the right side, and one CH3 group at the bottom. So you don't find any hydrogen atoms present there attached to the carbon atom. So tertiary alcohols are those in which the OH group is attached to a carbon that does not have any hydrogens.